Well, we're up to a reasonably important part of the project. We've got to figure out where we're going to put the bee box in the backyard. Now well, it's going to depend where you live in the world, but right here and where I live in the Riverland, it's as hot as heck in summer and reasonably cold in the winter. So my thought is I'm going to put it under one of my lovely wife's English trees that have leaves in the summertime and not so many leaves in the wintertime. So I'll have a bit of a balance going on. If you happen to live somewhere where it's freezing blooming cold, put them out warm. If you happen to live in Africa where it's stinking jolly hot, see if you can find somewhere cool. I'm going to have to find a place where the wife won't get too excited when I put it somewhere. I mean, if I set it right here in the middle of the lawn, she might not be really impressed because she's trying to mow the lawn one day and run over the bee box, and I think there'll be a bad conversation. So don't put it in the middle of the lawn, that would be bad. So I'm thinking that one of the two spots that I can see is probably over there. That would be quite nice in the garden bed because it'll be out of the way and the girls will find their way in there, it'll be all good. Or it could be over here in this part of the garden. It depends. If there was a seat there, I probably wouldn't put it there because, you know, hell, you might be sitting there having a romantic conversation and next thing you know, you get stung on the nose and romance will go flying out the window. Well, on second thoughts, I think if I put the hive out there, when the lawn is getting mowed, when you're going around the back there, the vibration and the noise, the girls might get a little bit excited. So I think a better option might be over here because if I face the hive that way, like towards where that track is, then they won't be flying out directly into where the lawn's being mowed. And then they can happily live their life and we probably never have to worry about them. Plus on a hot summer's day I can go there and check them in the shade and I won't even need to have one of these daggy hats on. I reckon this will work quite well because these are English trees and so they're going to lose their leaves when it's winter time, so you want a bit of warmth when it's winter. Obviously here when it's blooming 40 degrees you want a bit of shade because you don't want your girls to get too hot. They're trying to maintain their hive at about 36 to 38 degrees. Or I don't know, how hot are we as humans? About that, aren't we? Yeah, so they want to be about what we are, because it keeps their babies warm and cozy, and then they raise them. Then if they get too hot, they jolly get dead, and if they get too cold, they get dead. So we're a bit like us, you know. Hell, if we're living in an iceberg, poof, not too flash. If we're living in a fire, not too flash. So you want to think about the fact, and I'm thinking, right here's good. The other thing, of course, is there is no need to get completely distressed because if you place it somewhere and you're not happy with it, you can always move it. But just don't move it from here to over there. You've got to move it a bit further away and come back. But that's a whole nother episode. But so just relax. You don't have to get it 100% perfect, but try to get it right first time. But hell, you know what? Even the bush bee man sometimes gets it wrong. Now, of course, if you haven't got crap laying around your house, like the bush bee man has, and you have to actually go down the shop and buy some Besser blocks, that's fine as well. But I happen to have them laying around here, left over from other projects that, well, hell, that probably didn't make it onto YouTube. So I'm thinking these couple of bricks here will work for what we want to do. Just get some off the ground. You don't, as a matter of fact, it's not imperative that you have to have it up on some blocks, but it just makes it easier for when you're working it, and it gives them a bit more airflow and saves your legs going rotten. And keeps the moisture from running in so easily. So it is a good idea, but not imperative. But I would do it if I was you and you were just doing one beehive. What the hell? You've spent that much money now. What's a couple of Besser blocks? Now you don't want to face the jolly entrance to where you're going to get the most traffic because the ladies will figure out how to find the opening. So I'm thinking you want to... Oh, that didn't do that brickety good. So I'm going to face the opening out here. We don't spend a lot of time walking down this path. If you happen to be having a path that you're actively walking on, don't face the opening to the path, okay? Just take that under consideration. Or should we not face it to the path just for the sake of this video, so as you don't put it facing your path? I mean, I don't know. Write me a comment and say, it was all too confusing. And the thing about this is, if you leave it in the same spot and you actually want to turn it around a little bit, you can do that. So I'm just going to face it into the actual grove so as that they don't fly into the actual direct path of my lovely wife when she's trying to mow the lawn. Or, heaven forbid, when I get the job of mowing the lawn, I don't want to get stung either. I think they call that self-preservation, I think. We'll put that one there, we'll put this one down here a little bit. We're going to face it towards this way. And then, so then we've got enough room. You've got to remember as well, you have to have enough room to be able to work it from the side or the back of the hive. You don't want to be working on the front of the hive, because if you're there in your suit and the bees are flying out, they don't really like it, because you get all the worker bees come back and they whack into you and get all excited. So you want to be hiding out the back. So you need a little bit of room so you can work around your hive. So just consider that as well. Don't stick it in a little tiny spot where you can't get at it, because that would be very awkward. So we'll go and get our bee box and we'll place it here. They haven't got any bees in. This is the day before our nuke's turning up. So I just think it's a really good idea if you're planning and well, beekeeping is all about planning ahead. So bring the box in here, get it all set up, get it all organised before the nuke turns up, because you're going to have to go for a drive and get the jolly thing. So it'll be afternoon before you get back. And what's more, if your partner comes out into the garden and says, "You're not putting the bee box there," you can move it quite easily without having any bees in it. So it's a good conversation to have before it's like, "Sorry, darling, the dog's dead." Oh, golly gosh. Actually, they're not real heavy until they get full of honey and bees and all the rest of it. So here we go. We're going to have a little bit of a prelude. Here's our little painted box. I think the further I go, the more unfit I get. Right, we'll just sit it like that. And that's a little bit too much of an angle, so hang on a minute. We're going to lower the back brick down a bit, because that's too much leaning. Not that it'll hurt the bees anyway, but you don't want it on too much of an angle. Otherwise, when your mates come around, they'll say, "Cool, you could have got it level." And then you've got to say, "I don't actually want it level," okay? Because you're going to get a builder make the turns up, and they like everything level. But beekeeping, you don't have to be completely level. Maybe level-headed, but not level bee box. Now, don't forget, if you're going to be buying your bees from a reputable beekeeper, you're going to need to have a brand, because when you ring up and order your hives, they're going to ask you, "What's your brand?" And you need to be able to tell them, or they're probably not going to let you have the nuke colony that you're wanting to buy. Even if you're making swarm catching boxes, you should have your brand on it, and you should be registered, and you should be organised. So you even got to be a registered beekeeper before you even get any bees if you're trying to catch them. So in the not too distant future, the next day or two, we're going to get our bees and we're going to pop it in our box, and then we'll officially be a beekeeper. How cool is that? Well, you'll be officially a beekeeper. I'm already officially a beekeeper, apparently. So don't forget, if you're getting some information out of this and you're enjoying the journey of actually becoming a beekeeper, heck, this is the cheapest option you're ever going to find to become informed about beekeeping. Click on the link that says support. I don't know, hopefully if you're really motivated, give us $10 and you can join our club, and next thing you know, you'll be in the Q&A and you get your emails answered. Hell, John might even tell you how to be a beekeeper. So tune in next week when we get our bees, and all of a sudden we'll go from the owners of boxes to the owners of bees.